Welcome back to a brand new Civ 6 or Civilization 6 video. That is right, the apocalypse is about to happen. Civ lifers playing an actual Deity game, but I do want to spice up the channel a little bit, and I've decided I'm going to go ahead and do this sort of edited, sort of funny, trying to be creative and entertaining episode of a game on this video, and then I'm going to post the full VOD with my in-game commentary, just sheer, no edited, on the VOD's channel, which is going to be linked down below in the description. But as you can see right here, I woke up today and chose self-harm. Gonna probably end up calling the self-helpline after this because I went for a desert-only start with no river, which pretty much means we have to get the Petra, or we might as well bend over for the AI anyways. So we're going to have a very specific strategy for this, as the barb spawn to the west yeah, you're right. The game was too easy before the barbs decided to spawn. We do meet Nazca though, so that's eventually going to be +1 faith, and we do beeline astrology and get code of laws, because we want to get an early pantheon desert folklore, so we can go ahead and get a nice +6 to +8 holy site, as we do get the Void Singer Secret Society, because I want to get desert folklore, and with work ethic and theology, it'll end up being +20 production as we meet Gilga Chad, best neighbor to have, as we can immediately friendship him with turn 1. But yeah, we're going to go for work ethic desert folklore, which is broken. Add that in with the Petra. If we hopefully end up getting it, then we probably should be able to do the pegging instead of being pegged. Now, we do end up taking out that barbarian as we do get our pantheon, and desert folklore is right there waiting for us. So I decide to go ahead and actually go and get the holy site. Oh my god! We get a +10 holy site. It must actually be Christmas, goddamn it. We went back in time. That's how crazy the start has been. But with all the desert hills nearby, as I disperse the rivals towards the west, we are going to be in a great position with the Petra, as this slinger's absolutely going to get sent to the Shadow Realm. We do get the holy site though, and there is a barb builder running around. I decide to go ahead and get started on the builder as we go through this funny chase montage of me trying to snag that builder before he goes to anyone else, while we meet a Minotaur. And there is the classical era. We got a normal age, and we're going free inquiry, but Rapa Nui ends up stealing my builder, launching a blood feud that is so bad you'd think the one in Romeo and Juliet was tamed. Here in Anger Thum, I am going for great profit points, as I do get Void Singers, because I want to get that religion before I end up not getting it, because we are super far behind this game, as the 3 Brain Cell Barbarian leaves his encampment, allowing me to steal it, and we get a builder to work the pastures while I get the religion. Decide to go ahead and call it cattle because, well, we have a lot of sheep nearby. I wasn't feeling creative. But we go work ethic and Gurdurwas because we do desperately need housing, because it's not really hospitable to live in the middle of the desert. Do have the Eye of the Sahara natural wonder nearby, but that's really not a good wonder at all. It's probably F tier, honestly. But there are a lot of barbarians, as the one spawned to the south hasn't been dealt with, so we go ahead and send our women and children so they stop attacking us. Classical Republic's always the best government to go for if you do want to not go for an early war or aren't playing China. So we do go colonization, diplomatic leader, as well as God King for more faith. Eventually, I want to get Chorus for the 2nd tier secret society in order for me to get the level 2 government and change my faith into science and culture. I didn't settle these cities as I wanted to wait till I got Ancestral Hall, because with that we are going to get a free builder in each of our settled cities, as I get Rapa Nui and the blood feud with them to get a little bit of extra culture, because it's turn 80 and I'm making 6 science and 6 culture per turn, and I've just settled my 2nd and 3rd cities, so we're pretty far behind, aren't we? But it's fine, we're going to hopefully end up coming back. I'm not scared at all. We get into a medieval era dark age, but everyone's so far away from me that it really doesn't matter. So we go free inquiry. We'll hopefully try to get a heroic age, as I'm waiting on mining to get the marble, but we desperately need to get mathematics for the Petra first, because if we don't get Petra, Anger Thum is going to continuously be a garbage city. We'll go for extra production towards campuses and another trader to help me get Petra faster, and we end up winning both, which is great. I'll send this trader to Indrapura for a road and production and food as we meet Basil, who's not looking too good with this 25 combat strength, man. You'd think the Ottomans would have been in this game or something, maybe even the Crusader states. But I do go ahead and get the Petra, as that is pretty much our only hope. So we go ahead and try to actually get the Colosseum. And funny thing about that is I thought it was gone by the time I got to building it. So I didn't actually end up building it until like the late game, which is pretty funny. Anyways, we're going to get another monstrous +6 holy site after we go ahead and suck off Gilgabro a little bit just to get the little bit of funding we need in order for me to, yes, this is a China-North Korea relationship. Rivers aren't that important in this game. I'm not gonna... I'm not risking like goddamn Archer and Settler just to get a river city, so we do decide to settle in place on the coast. We do end up getting recorded history. Again, we're not going to make too much use of it. Just wanted the extra governor title because I am going to end up getting the level 2 chorus promotion, which will double my science and culture from 20 to about 25, respectfully. We're going to go ahead and trade as much money as we can as we get the Petra. There it is. Angerthum is looking even thicker than a bowl of oatmeal right now. God damn, I think I just nutted looking at this stage. Apologize for everyone needing to change their underwear. We're going to go ahead and get that campus up there, as this man-at-arms wants to make me his slave. Apparently my women and children were not enough, so we're just going to trap him in and Teutoburg Forest him. Now, I was going to settle this city right beside Amenitor because fuck Nubia, but, you know, they are looking pretty powerful militarily, so I decided to just give them my new women and children, just so they'd stop attacking me. But as you can see with the aggressive military expansion, you will, it didn't end up working out too well, as I am pretty much getting Ukrained in the next couple of turns, despite the fact she has a smiley face on her leader portrait. Talk about a two-faced. It'd probably get canceled if I said the next word. But I decided not to give her open borders. Appeasement is over. We replaced Chamber Dunce with an actual competent leader, me, and I say, you know what, we're going to war with Nubia, as we are going to get a heroic age, and the heroic age is going to be helpful because Nubia declared war on me, and her courser was not that powerful, as I thought it would be able to one-shot my archer. Doesn't really matter though, as I do go ahead and get a heroic age. I was building up the military while I was appeasing her, so it really shouldn't be the hardest war to defend, especially with my alliances, including the military one with Basil. Essentially, this is World War II, and I am Poland in this situation, except for the fact my leadership is actually competent. We'll go ahead, attack the courser twice, and we have just so many archers here, these guys don't stand a chance. We'll end up taking out the courser, and she really has no military nearby. In fact, it's just not looking good for her at all. We do go for a university, decided to go for a science victory this game because, well, I guess it was like 3 a.m. in the morning, bro. I was feeling kind of lazy this game. Didn't want the mental capacity to actually go for a culture victory. We also have Rapa Nui on our side, so the blood feud is officially, the axe has been put down. We are allies now in this war against Nubian aggression. Now, I do decide, because I thought Nubia would be stronger, that I would just be focused on defense, but I do end up going for my Domri unique unit because they're a super powerful trebuchet, and actually decide to go on the offensive after absolutely crippling their military. I guess I'm kind of Russia in this scenario, and Nubia thought she was Napoleon. In any case, we're building up our capital because with enough housing, it's going to be super duper strong. Continuously settle our city as it takes us 3 turns to build a goddamn settler in this game. Send more envoys to Rapa Nui so we don't end up losing them. I would not want to have to deal with them in a war. Bliss Crossbowman is pretty much just surrounded and is going to get attacked from 3 sides, casting couch style. In any case, that is the end of Nubia's military. She is looking at a measly 65 right now. And afterwards, I decided to go for stirrups because, well, it doesn't matter what we do next. The Domries are here. In any case, I end up trading for some more money and end up actually buying the Domries. I'm going to save you guys we don't really need to show the military buildup, as we get theocracy, which will give me more faith, and thanks to my secret society, will give me more science and culture, as we're now starting to build up a little bit more, and we are looking like a future superpower right now. Let's not mess it up like Japan did in our timeline. In any case, I will eventually end up settling the city, Vimiapora or whatever, and the attack on the Vatican is about to happen. It's a good thing there is no Catholicism in this game because, well, we'd probably be at war with the entire world if it was. So we're going to go ahead and just begin sieging down the Vatican. Our Domries do a good bit of damage, and since they don't really do too much damage against us, they do end up attacking us, and I was worried they'd do a lot of damage, but it really doesn't end up being the case. In any case, the Vatican should fall within the next couple of turns. Now, as we're going to put the entire citizens of Nubia's empire on a shirt, she ends up trying to actually get down on her knees and beg for my forgiveness, but I said, you know what, I'm the only one who could do the begging in this situation, lady, and sent her on her way. We do capture the Vatican, and I was going to go ahead and attack Miro, but considering the fact that she is still decently powerful militarily, and the fact that her cities are over 60 combat strength, I say, you know what, we can make peace, I guess, as I still have more grievances than her. So we end up getting a lot of money, and end up being peaceful with no war ever to happen again. That's called foreshadowing. In any case, afterwards, we do have plenty more room to settle up north, including a pretty good St. Basil's Cathedral city. The other cities nearby, though, are just pretty garbage in all honesty. Also, I have negative loyalty when trying to settle them, so this war actually gave us 2 potential cities instead of having none. So, again, thank you, Amenitor, for being an absolute incompetent dumbass. In any case, we do have this settler, as Gilgamesh actually stole the city I was about to take. And I was going campus research grants because there was really nothing to do in my capital city. In any case, we do actually end up getting the +3 industrial zone in Angerthum. If we could have gotten Ruhr Valley, this city would have been something else, but I didn't want to cheat it by putting in a cheeky river. In any case, we're just going to get some more holy sites everywhere, as the more faith we have, the more science and culture we make. And I've pretty much caught up to everyone except Zhao III, who is doing really well on this unique Pangea map that lets him make use of his traders. In any case, we do end up getting shipbuilding as we go ahead, and I actually get an evangelized belief, so I can go for cross-culture dialogue for a little bit more science. The problem with this game right now is the fact that Nubia does have a religion, and she, having failed in conquest, is trying to conquest me religiously, so I end up building an apostle/missionary army as I faith by all the builders with my immense amount of faith. But yeah, I end up building a lot of religious units to completely eradicate her religion of... Yeah, no, that would definitely get me demonetized almost immediately, in fact. Let's just continue. Now, we're in a situation right now, as she calls me the worst kind of flood, because she's mad that she's losing the war and religious war. We're making 150 science and 100 culture, now 183 and 133, as we're prepping for industrialization, and you could see we have multiple +20 holy sites. Yeah, this game is looking a lot better. The only problem being that Zhao is so far out ahead of everybody when it comes to science, that we're going to have to find some way to catch up to him immediately. In any case, I do end up faith buying Gurdurwas almost everywhere, as well as getting campuses wherever I can, because we are going for that sweet science victory, and this is where I said I was beginning to build my religious army, because it wasn't enough to humiliate Amenitor both militarily and religiously. I needed to convert her entire cities, alright? In any case, right now, we are going to continue building religious units, as the horseman's pretty much done everything he could. And as we go ahead and surround this missionary and 5 people, I don't even know where that joke was going. We killed that missionary and got more cattle pressure for us. In any case, we are going to just campus research grants for the most part, as we get the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus for extra charges on our goddamn great engineers. This is a lot harder than it looks. We'll go ahead and get the shipyard right now to get more production, and we're going to begin our great cattle convergence of the Nubian Empire. Yes, by the way, for those of you who don't know, who aren't as adept at history as I am, of course, the cattle religion started when the Jayavarmans decided to say screw you, and made up a stupid religion just to get Nubia back for declaring war on them a couple hundred years ago. That's right, the feud with Rapa Nui is now squarely on Nubia. In any case, we do end up converting most of Nubia's... I'd love to call it an empire, except for the fact that it's about as big as an empire as the Holy Roman Empire was holy or Roman, or an empire for that matter. Nubia's screwed, alright? We do end up converting Nubia's pitiful kingdom, and ooh, this isn't looking good, as Zhao has his own religion coming in, and I decide to run away, except for the fact there's a stupid missionary blocking my way. The eternal feud continues. We do end up moving our units back to deal with Zhao's apostle, and we did end up taking him out. It didn't do as much as I thought it would do, as everything was already converted anyway. But hey, we were able to convert some of these cities. That's pretty nice. I do end up getting the entertainment complex, as I think the theater square at this point was just too little too late. In any case, we are going to just continue getting friends and alliances everywhere, as I end up getting a research alliance with Portugal because I thought it was too far away from me to actually send a science trade route, and I just wanted to sort of stunt him in any way I can. Go for military with Basil and culture with Gilgamesh so we don't end up losing cities to each other. And yeah, I do end up finishing my religious war, as we now have a good enough buffer to prevent her from actually trying to convert me for the rest of the game, as I get the Colosseum by almost turn 200 at this point. It took me a while, but we finally have positive amenities with research labs coming in. We're going to be at the forefronts of innovation very quickly, as we even get the Colossus and our spies are going to town. We have begun firing on every single cylinder, and we are turning into a superpower. I don't know how many times I have to teach this lesson, old man, but Nubia does end up declaring war on me again. I do have cores this time, so despite the fact I'm about as technologically backwatered as as the goddamn natives were when Columbus appeared, we still end up winning this war. I do get some luxuries from Zhao and end up trading for some niter, so I can get a super powerful musketman that can walk through Nubia just like Hitler walked through France. In any case, we are going to finish up our tech and continuously steal technologies, as we did end up having a super powerful spy that had all the great defensive promotions to protect our spaceports. Literally, this guy was goddamn LeBron defending against everyone else. He saved our spaceports hard in the late game. In any case, Nubia is at war with, again, the entire world, except for the fact Pakatui is on her side because Pakatui declared war on Zhao, and I'm Zhao's ally. So, again, system of alliances in World War I type of game. But this really was one of the easiest wars of my life, as she decided to go for Hunza, and I really couldn't do too much against her, because her cities were still a lot more powerful than mine. I thought maybe if I got a golden age and she was a dark age, I'd be able to, like, convince her cities to join me, but that didn't end up happening, so I do eventually go Heartbeat of Steam to get a lot more production, and after taking out the unit, I missed by about 1 health. Well, at least he isn't stupid enough to suicide himself into me, so I highly doubt I'll end up actually killing that unit. Nope, he is dumber than I thought, and he does end up killing himself on me. Just so you know, we do not condone suicide on the Civ Lifer channel, but we do condone stealing stuff, and that stuff is going to be the aluminum from Zhao III. In any case, she has bazookas and actual modern military technology, probably lend-leased by the United States at this point, and honestly, I'm not really Afghanistan or Vietnam, so I do have to make peace before the Americans actually come in with more than military equipment. So I do end up making peace with her as we get a neighborhood to increase the growth in my capital, and we do have rocketry coming in 6 turns. That is right, we get to be the little rocket men this time, Kim Jong-un. In any case, we're going to get campus research grants, as I completely forgot that they actually silenced my governor and I didn't have Pingala for like the last 50 turns or whatever. So by the time Pingala gets there, we will be the #1 science civ in the game. And in fact, we're essentially tied for #1 right now, which is pretty nice. And we're making our way down towards communism, not only to make our people hungry, as there's not a lot of food in the desert anyway, but also because of the fact we get science and production, which is pretty neat. There is rocketry, though, and honestly, this is my best strategy for rocketry. Everyone builds spaceports everywhere. I know you only need 1, but the fact is that I don't really need to build anything in the 5 cities I'm going to be building spaceports in, and campus research grants is nice, but I'd much rather have everyone building spaceports when I get the exoplanet expedition boosters, so that I can get terrestrial laser stations and the like a lot faster, therefore winning a game as fast as possible, which is going to be very important, not only because I had an absolute abhorrent start, it was terrible, but also because of the fact what is going to happen in the next couple of minutes. So we do end up getting our spaceports everywhere. I'm going to get 2 more in Angkor Wat and the city beside it after we finish the research labs in those cities. But Zhao is but he is ahead of us when it comes to science per turn. But that doesn't matter because we do have communism now. And with collectivization, we will increase our science as well as our production. I was going to go domestic trade routes, but I decided against it, as getting the largest amount of faith possible for more science and culture was going to be in my best interest. So, despite the fact that we have, oh my god, 4 turns for a goddamn spaceship part, absolutely sensational. It has just been, yeah. This strategy, even with the abhorrent start, 4 turns for a spaceship part is absolutely insane. But despite the fact we had the worst start and had one city by turn 90, we are now officially the front runners to end the game, as we go for the International Space Station policy card to get more science after I go and get globalization. I decided to fully max out Magnus for that extra era score, and Smart Materials is right there, which is perfect, the way the tech tree worked out for us, because I only need now 4 more techs in order to get all the techs I need to win a science victory. So as we are preparing everybody, I did have a large amount of faith actually, and ended up actually not only just taking those 2 cities from Gilgamesh and from a Minotaur, but I was also able to go ahead and faith buy all the great people I needed in the late game, as I finally get the Exoplanet Expedition, and we are well on our way to victory. A couple campus research grants until I get the off-world mission tech, as we're making so much science right now. Our nation is literally the reincarnation of Einstein. But the problem is, Gilgamesh, despite having 16 points, somehow ended up winning the diplomatic victory thing. So he now has 18 points. And one more, he has the world's games, obviously. And there might be a couple other games or whatever that I don't know about. But Gilgamesh right now is right there for the running of a diplomatic win. He's 18 out of 20 points. And honestly, considering how mentally defunct the AI is, I would not be surprised if he won the next session. So it was a sort of race against the clock. Kept that super spy I was talking about in the spaceport just to, make sure everyone, he killed like 8 spies, bro. I needed him. But Gilgamesh now has 19 points because he did a World Congress thing that I wasn't a part of, so I couldn't see the progress towards. So if he won the World Games or got to the end of the next World Congress session, he was going to win the game. I was going to lose. And I don't know if my pride could have handled that, so I decided to immediately get all the great people I needed. I got Carl Sagan as well as the great industrial engineer guy because I could use his charges twice due to the mausoleum, and I just spammed out these laser stations so fast. It was absolutely amazing. Despite the abhorrent start, we ended up actually making like plus 11 or plus 12, progress towards the exoplanet expedition per turn at the end. It was an absolute clinic, man. I put on an absolute masterful performance. Yeah, okay, I'm done sucking my own cock, okay? But in any case, we are very close to winning as we're 12 out of 50 points. And honestly, it wasn't even close. Gel fell out of the science victory race a long time ago as we get the science victory before the World Congress session that would have screwed us over. And I end up winning the Herbert Hoover achievement. Well, despite the fact we started in the state of Herbert Hoover, we ended up far, far above what he accomplished. So, hey, pretty good game. Obviously, I'll post the entire VOD with my in-the-game sort of commentary or whatever on my VOD's channel tomorrow. The entire thing uncut. But yeah, if you do enjoy the video, as always, leave a like and subscribe. Let me know if you like this style of videos and whether you want to see more gameplay in the future. And yeah, without further ado, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.